What is going on, Chelsea fan? In today's video, we are going to be diving into the tactics that Enzo Maresca utilized in this match to absolutely smash West Ham off the park. Now let's look at the starting 11. Now first off, there's a few different changes in this starting 11. Malagusto, Tosin, and obviously Estevao. We will talk about all these players because there were a few injuries. Cole Palmer being the big talking point, who did injure himself right before kickoff. I do believe it was a groin injury, so we will have to wait and see how severe it was. But that being said, Estevao obviously stepped up and did a phenomenal job, and again, we'll dive into a little bit more here. Now, first off, though, looking at Malagusto, who did start over Reece James, again, I think we're trying to minimize Reece James' minutes throughout this entire season, but looking at what he did, he was clearly the inverted wingback that we were playing in this match. Obviously, typically it's Cucurella, and we did see him push up, but this match we actually saw him sit back quite a bit more with Malagusto pushing up. I do believe he's very good going forward, and he did help out quite a bit in this match. There was a few goals he was definitely part of. So as he pushed up, we also did see Enzo Fernandez push up quite a bit as well. So we did almost see something along this lines where it almost turned into a 3-1-3-3. And at this point, this was very difficult for West Ham to defend because when we were playing the ball throughout this entire match, we were constantly just whipping the ball and moving it very quickly with all these players. Now, while there's Malagusto playing to Neto, who then could drive the ball, we were playing to Estevao, who again was just driving the ball all over the place. When Estevao ever did receive the ball, he had plenty of freedom. So if he was sitting in the middle, he was obviously picking up, driving towards goal. We also saw him go down the side, where he did lead to that third goal, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But like I said, when we had these three guys doing this here for the most part, Liam Delap obviously pushing up, Joao Pedro again doing his work as well, and Pedro Neto, all three of these guys were doing some high pressing for the most part, which made it very difficult for West Ham. On top of that, the big talking point for West Ham was the middle of their pitch because using Souček and James Ward-Prowse is almost ridiculous because not that they're not bad players, but both of them are as slow as molasses. And therefore, again, Chelsea utilizes with exactly all the players that we have here because all these players in this area are very quick, and we saw them. They were struggling for the most part. Even Wan-Bissaka, who was quite slow as well, made it very difficult for them to even keep up with pace. Now, obviously, they did score their first goal, and it did come off, I'm going to say a fluke goal because it did come out from this area, and it was just a whipping ball into the far post. Now, should Robert Sanchez done better? Yes, but at the same time, I think he was caught off guard because he was shifting, because I do believe he thought he was maybe going to go near post, and the fact he went far post with a curling shot, it is what it is. But that being said, we definitely came back around from that match, or from that goal, and we did score off a set piece. Now, this is something that Chelsea have been working on, and we may go into a bigger video with this because I've been noticing that Enzo Maresca does like to do short corners. But what we did see here, obviously, was that when we did our short corner kick, Cucurella was sitting in front, so he was able to head the ball back to Joao Pedro, who again scored the goal there. And like I said, that put us back into the driver's seat. Now, obviously, West Ham did come back. They did have another goal, but it was disallowed being offside. So therefore, again, it was still 1-1. Over that, though, after that happened, was called back, Chelsea were absolutely done because as we continued to press and push up, there was really nothing that this team could do, when I'm talking about West Ham, to stop Chelsea because after a while, they kept losing the ball in this area, and every time they were losing it, Chelsea were constantly attacking. And this is what happened later on in the match, is that Chalobah did win the ball here, and he was pushing up quite a bit over time. And when he won the ball back, Pedro Neto was able to play, Joao Pedro was able to play a beautiful ball over the top to Neto, who's on the back post, and when he played that ball, it was just pace that got him there first. Had it been a different defender, I do think that probably they would have won and beat Pedro Neto to that ball, but the fact is that Wan-Bissaka just could not keep up with any of these players, and it led to the second goal. After that, really, West Ham had to push up because they had to get back in this match. And as they continued to push up, this is where Chelsea were able to constantly keep pushing our players up. And on the third goal, this is where Estevao really did show his worth. Even Liam Delap, though, too, because the ball itself was played to Liam Delap, who, again, had a nice touch down that, again, allowed Estevao to run onto the ball. And as he was running on the ball, making an overlapping run, Enzo Fernandez was sitting there right in the center, and again, he played the ball perfectly just across. There was nothing anyone could have done with that, and it led us going into the half at 3-1. Over that, then, as we did continue to play this match, again, we were able to dominate and dictate possession. West Ham really didn't have any chances after that, and Chelsea had so many more chances. And we did see goals from Trevor Chalobah, and we also saw with Caicedo. Two guys they don't typically score, but like I said, they were in the right place at the right time, and big goals for them because it did lead us winning 5-1. And like I said, overall, we did pretty much dominate this match. But the big thing that we did see here that I do really enjoy is that we got to see Liam Delap Joao Pedro and Estevao all play in a match, because I do think this gives us the quality and understanding how these guys can play, because Liam Delap can easily play as that 9, who, like I said, if you play the ball to him, he can hold up defenders quite well, and then he can lay the ball off, which he did multiple times. We even saw him do this in the Club World Cup, and then it allows our other players to really run onto the ball, which we saw with that third goal with Estevao, but also allows Neto and even Joao Pedro. Those guys were linking up over and over in this match, and like I said, this gives us the capability, and hopefully, like I said, when Cole Palmer comes back into this mix, now whether we keep Estevao on the pitch and drop Neto, or again, we drop Estevao and keep Neto on, we have different options, but for the most part, Cole Palmer can do this as well with all these other players. So again, I do believe Chelsea are going to be a very scary team going into this entire season. Now, yes, I do understand it was against West Ham, who most likely will struggle all season long, but this is a match that really will build confidence for Chelsea and allow them to continue to keep getting better and better. And as of right now with this video, we are top of the table. Granted, it is only Friday night, but that being said, Chelsea now have 4 points and go into the next match. Hopefully can win that match and again continue this trajectory to keep going to the top of the rate and again win the title this season. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.